Alright, Chef Buck here, and today, Camera Girl is in front of the camera again, making what?
Indian chicken. So we're just going to create a simple marinade with lots of great flavors. First thing we're going to do, a food processor is...
Okay, how do you say that?
A food processor. So first we're going to use a food processor. We're going to ground up some almonds, some garlic, and some ginger. Doesn't that sound good already?
Yeah, that's a lot of good flavors.
Yeah. Make some noise. All right, let's take a look.
Alrighty, what kind of consistency are you looking for?
I'm looking for it to be minced. You've got those great flavors. You want it to spread around everywhere in the dish. You've got that ground up, and then we're going to mix that with a marinade. So we're starting with some plain yogurt.
So you got a thick Greek yogurt here.
Yes. Then we're going to add just a little bit of tomato sauce. A little bit of acidity helps your marinade.
So this is just a plain Jane can of tomato sauce, and you're just adding a couple spoonfuls in here.
Exactly, so not much at all. And then it can't be an Indian dish without additional flavors. We have some coriander, some cumin, some garam masala, and just a little bit of chili powder and or red pepper. So just a little bit of bite. So we're just going to add those in. Just like the tomato sauce, a little bit of lemon juice to help the marinade. And then we're going to add in our minced ingredients. The secret ingredients. Okay, they're not so secret.
Okay, so all your ground up ingredients are going in with your yogurt dressing there.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a whole heap of sabor, which is Spanish for flavor.
Flavor. We're getting ready to go to Chile, and Chef Buck, he is much further ahead in learning Spanish than I am. Yeah. That is really good. But it also means just when he wakes up, just when he goes to sleep, he is practicing his Spanish. And since I am not as far ahead, I just keep going, ¿qué? ¿Qué?
So you get it all stirred up, mixed together well.
Yep.
So now you're going to take all of your little flavorful mixture here and throw it in the Ziploc bag. And you can use whatever kind of chicken you like. We got a bunch of thighs. But then you're going to marinate this chicken in with these flavors.
Yes, and now we're just going to throw our chicken in there and squish it around. And again, in a Ziploc, it's just easier to distribute the flavors well. And again, you can use a whole chicken. If you prefer breast, you can definitely do that. Zip it up. This isn't as liquidy as a lot of marinades, so having this in the Ziploc is going to make it a little easier. But basically, you just want to massage the marinade. Ooh, that's a good feeling.
Bow wow. Alright, so you're massaging your Ziploc, getting all those flavors mixed up with your chicken, getting everything nice and coated and covered.
Yes.
You just squeezed all that excess air out of there so everything's smashed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Greek yogurt is really thick, so you gotta mash and make sure everything's covered.
Got some marinated chicken. I'm going to stick it in the fridge. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm ready. You ready?
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to put the marinated chicken in the fridge. We're going to take it out about an hour and a half before we're ready to eat.
Okay. Take 35. That was pretty good.
You try cooking in somebody else's house. Beep, 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 beep. So our chicken's been marinating. But we're going to let this sit aside while we caramelize some onions. So we've got a big pot because we've got a lot of chicken. So we're just going to heat it up, heat some oil up. I'm using olive oil. You can always test it by just throwing a little bit of onion. Got the sizzle. Now we got two big honkers of an onion, so we're going to add a lot of onion.
But you're going to cook these onions down quite a bit.
Yes. All right. It's only been about 7-8 minutes. You just have to stir it every now and again so it doesn't stick too much. And the magic will start happening. You'll be like, it's never going to turn brown. But then it will. It's been about 15 minutes, and look at the transformation. I've had to stir it a little bit to keep it from sticking to the bottom too much. A little bit of sticking to the bottom adds a little brown. We're going to add a little bit of water so things don't stick so much. So we're going to put in our chicken.
So you're emptying the entire bag in there, the marinade and the chicken, everything.
Yes. You want to get as much of this delicious marinade in here as possible.
Now you ended up having this marinating for about 2 hours, but you could do this the day before.
Definitely.
So if you're thinking ahead, you can go ahead and marinate this overnight and it'll have even more flavor. Although it's going to have a lot of flavor, just marinating it an hour or 2 hours because we put a lot of flavor in here.
Yep, so we've got the chicken and that gooey, flavorful mess in here stirred in with our brown onions. We've got it all mixed up. We're going to cover it. We're going to check back in it in 45 minutes. All we're waiting for now is for the chicken to be tender. Beep, 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 beep.
Well, it's bubbling away, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. See, it didn't look like a whole lot of sauce in there earlier. You didn't put much water in with your marinade, but the moisture comes out of the chicken, so it's very saucy now. We've been stirring it periodically.
Yep. We'll show you that the chicken is done. Now we chose boneless, skinless thighs. You can choose whatever chicken you'd like. Oh, it smells so good. So you do want to take a check, one of your beefier pieces of chicken, if you can say that, and make sure you're not seeing pink. That's the bottom line. And oh, that's very tender. Very tender. So we're ready to plate it up. Yes!
You're going to serve it over a little bit of greens and quinoa.
And I added a little bit of dried cranberries. We're just going to make it a one-dish meal. You can serve it over rice. You can have some sides. You can have potatoes. This is really versatile, but I think the flavors are what are going to really win people over. And you can add, because you have all that great, I'm going to call it sauce, you can add some of that, and that becomes the flavor for your greens, for the quinoa. There you go.
So you're saying I'm not going to need any ranch dressing?
I don't think so. Look at that. You know what? You could actually get away with not having a knife. Just sort of pull and twist. I like it when my chicken's that tender. Look at all that saucy goodness. Let's see.
That was a pretty big bite. Yeah. Works for you? So there you have it. Indian chicken, sort of a curry style chicken dish. You know, you don't have to make it this healthy. You don't have to serve it on greens. You could serve it on a bowl of M&Ms if you want. But if you want to print this recipe, go to myfoodchannel.com. Print all our recipes over there. Thanks for watching, subscribing, giving it a thumbs up, being a good citizen, doing your push-ups, blah, blah, blah. We'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.